YouTube, how we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo! And this is another episode of Yo Hoops. We go through every NBA game every day. Today's Thursday, March 20th, and we have a 5-game NBA card. I'm going to walk you through every game, let you know which sides I like, and stick around because I'll let you know my highlighted play of the day. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite games in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's recap. Recapping yesterday, literally the worst day I've had. I got absolutely taken behind that shed. We split our highlighted plays, one loss and one push. First, we took the Indiana Pacers laying 10.5 points against the Dallas Mavericks. I thought it was a good spot with everyone being out for the Mavs coming into Indiana. The injury news broke our way, and it still didn't matter. The Pacers won the game 135 to 131. They didn't cover. Next, we took the Chicago Bulls plus 6 points in Phoenix against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns dominated a majority of the game. The Bulls did make a run in the final minutes to lose the game 127 to 121. We pushed this one. Like I said, it was a terrible day for me overall, but I know how this game goes. I'm going to keep grinding and get us back in that win column one way or another. We did sweep an 8-game card this week, so I'm not too surprised to see a little downturn on the back end of that, but we'll get right soon. This one here isn't my favorite card, so tread with caution, but without further ado, let me get into today's games. In our first matchup of the evening, we have the Brooklyn Nets in Indiana taking on the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are laying 8.5 points, and the total is 223.5. The Pacers come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, but no travel as they remain at home in Indiana. The Pacers injury report is tentative based on this being a back-to-back, but Tyrese Halliburton didn't play yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised if he sits here. On the Nets side, they'll be without Cameron Johnson and Cam Thomas. The Pacers have been winning games, but they've been terrible from an ATS perspective. They've now failed to cover in 8 straight meetings. The Nets are the opposite scenario where they lose games, but they've covered at a high clip. As road underdogs, they're now 20, 12, and 1 against the spread on the season. Thing is here, I see this as a reversion to the mean spot. The Pacers are the better team, and the Nets are missing their 2 best players. The Pacers are 16 games ahead in the standings, and 8.5 isn't a huge extended number like we've seen from the Pacers recently. I'm not rushing to the window to bet this one with the Pacers' current form, but I do think they get this one done by margin. We're taking the Pacers laying the 8.5 as our first selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the New York Knicks in Charlotte taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Knicks are laying 8 points, and the total is 222. The Knicks come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from San Antonio to Charlotte. The Knicks have been a tough team for me to figure out without Jalen Brunson. They look competitive and stacked a few wins without him, but then last night, they get aired out by the San Antonio Spurs. That being said, after last night's loss, they should be locked in for this one. The Hornets on the other side should be in tank mode. They did lose their last game by 32 points against the banged up Atlanta Hawks, and they only have 17 wins on the season. They're 2 games out from the worst record in the league. No need to overcomplicate this one for me. I think the Knicks let out their frustration and beat down on the Hornets here. We're taking the Knicks laying the 8 as our next selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Chicago Bulls in Sacramento taking on the Sacramento Kings. Kings are laying 7 points, and the total is 234. Both teams come into this one on the second leg of back-to-backs. The Bulls fly from Phoenix to Sacramento, while the Kings remain at home. I'll let you guys know about a month ago, the Kings can make some noise in the West this season. They were in the 11th spot at that time, and they've now moved into the 9th spot in the West. The Bulls on the other side have moved to the 9th spot in the East, so this is a pretty even matchup. I could see angles for both sides here, but I do have to lean towards the Kings. No travel as they remain at home in Sacramento, and they just beat the Cavs outright last night as 5-point underdogs. I think they come into this one feeling themselves, playing with confidence. The Bulls are not going to make this one easy, but I do see this as something like an 8-point Kings win. We're taking the Kings laying the 7 as our next selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Toronto Raptors in Golden State taking on the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are laying 14 points, and the total is 225. The Warriors have been playing on another level. They're currently on an 8-1 run, winning a majority of those games by margin. Toronto, on the other side, has hooped as underdogs, though. They're now 18-14 against the spread in this spot themselves. Thing for me is this close to the playoffs in Golden State, I expect the Dubs to be all the way locked in. The Raptors are still banged up. No Grady Dick, RJ Barrett, or Jacoby Walter, and I don't think they have enough to compete in this one. Like I said, they have shown up as extended underdogs all season, and especially on the road, but in these meaningful games down the stretch, personally, I can't trust them. We're taking the Warriors laying the 14 as our next selection of today. Let's move. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I've been sliding on my highlighted plays. We're now 12-1 against the spread on highlighted plays in March. I look to get us back in that win column. I look to finish out March strong, so make sure you're rocking with me, guys. I appreciate the support so much. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo! And until the next one, I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.